Hi Flosstube, I'm Annie and I am the proper stitcher, and welcome to Flosstube 91. If this is your first time joining me, I am so glad you stopped by today. This is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch, a little bit of quilting, and hopefully give you inspiration to fully finish your projects. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your continued support, all of your wonderful messages and comments you send my way. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today is April the 1st. Today is my 2-year Flosstube anniversary. And as my sister Lisa likes to call it, my Flosstube anniversary. So today is my anniversary. I am so excited that I am here today to talk about my 2-year journey on Flosstube, coming to you all every week or every other week to talk about what we all love. We love cross stitch. I love talking about it. I love sharing everything I'm working on. And I love that we are in this community together. I could not be where I am today without your support, without you watching my channel, without shop owners talking about my channel or supporting my channel, or vendors or designers supporting my channel. I appreciate everyone. I could not be here today without your support. So thank you all so much for what you do for me. And you make this so much easier by sending me your positive comments, for leaving me positive comments. And you inspire me to want to continue to do this. And I do appreciate you all so much. So today it's probably not going to be as long as I thought it would be, because I don't have a lot of whips to share with you, but I do have some things I want to talk to you about. I have some fabulous giveaways to my thank you to you. And I have a little bit of happy mail to share with you. So grab a pen and paper, grab your favorite beverage, grab your cross stitch, and let's get busy and talking about what we've been working on this week. So few life updates, not a whole lot there either. This week I've been a little distracted, just things going on in the world, in my life. I've been distracted this week, so I have not been able to get as much done as I wanted to. But Tristan did find out that he is going to Colorado for his Young Life work cruise. So he will be gone a whole month this summer. And that's going to be hard for me, that I'll have Gray home this summer, but Tristan will be gone for a whole month this summer. But he's excited. I'm excited for him. Gray has been super busy with all of her classes and schoolwork. She's kind of in the home stretch to finals. Finals are that second week in May. So she will not be home for Easter. This will be the first holiday that we are not together, and that's going to be a little difficult. It was just too short of a break for her to want to travel home and then turn around and go back. She said it's just, she needs to spend that time studying. But she has a good group of friends that will be on campus, and they will be able to share the holiday together. I got her some cute little Easter things and baskets and treats and things like that have been sent to her. So she will have fun things to open on that weekend. And other than that, that's really about it. Oh, on Saturday, I did go to Johnson City last Saturday to Cross Stitch and Crafts. That is my local needlework store, even though it's about an hour and a half away. I just needed a stitching day. I needed a day to kind of get out of the house. I called the shop owner and said, hey, I'd love to come and sit and stitch. So I went up there. I needed to get some floss for Eliza's French birds and some other floss for other projects. And so I just made a day of it. I went up there, I hung out with the ladies that are there. We stitched, I shopped, stitched some more, we had lunch, and then I came home. So that was a fun Saturday. And if you are near or driving distance to a cross stitch store that has an area where you can sit and stitch, even if you don't know the people who are going to be there that day, it is so much fun to just stitch with someone else. See what everybody is working on. Just have kind of like your mini retreat for the afternoon. And that was a great day to do it. It was a beautiful day, a beautiful drive, and it was just a nice day for me to just sit back and breathe for a little bit. So thank you, Sandra and Amy, for hosting me and all of our regulars that are up there. It was so much fun to be there. So that's what I've been doing the last week. Let's talk about the proper stitcher, my Flosstube, and why I do this. I have said this from my very first episode. For those of you who are new, maybe have forgotten, I try not to say it all the time, but the reason I started this channel is because I knew a lot of people who would not finish their cross stitch pieces. They would not fully finish them. They will stitch them, they will have a drawer full of finishes, but they would never fully finish them because they were afraid of messing up their projects. They were afraid of ruining it. And so before I started the channel, my Flosstube channel, I was with my good friends Kim and Kay, and we were in Louisville, Kentucky. This was 2 years ago. And we were talking about how I've been wanting to start a Flosstube channel, that, a lot of people were doing it. A lot of people have been doing it since, or started their channels, over the last year. But, I've been watching Flosstube a lot, and I just knew what I wanted to say. I knew what I wanted my message to be, which is I would rather have a finished project than a perfect project. And the reason I really wholeheartedly feel that way is I think that we take the joy out of stitching or finishing because we put so much pressure on ourselves for it to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be that way. So my philosophy is practice, practice on scrap pieces of fabric or whatever it is you're wanting to learn, your technique that you're wanting to do. Practice and then try it on your cross stitch piece and just go from there. But just take that element of fear out of the process. Watch tutorials, read up on sewing tips, or watch videos on sewing tips. Just whatever the technique is that you want to do. I feel that everyone has it within them to finish their pieces, unless you want to send it to a professional finisher. That is not feasible for everybody. So I really, really, really believe that you have it within you to finish your projects and to love them and to be happy with them. Will they be perfect? No, nothing is ever perfect. Even when you send it to a professional finisher, it is a great job, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. Nothing is perfect. So take that element of fear out of it and just do it. Just enjoy that process. So that is what I knew. I always knew that that's what I wanted my channel to be about. I wanted it to be inspirational. I wanted it to be something where this will be fun. This is a great journey to be on together. And so I hope that I have been able to convey that to you. Sometimes I don't finish my projects. I don't get to a finishing part of it because I have so many whips. But when I do get to finish something, I love sharing that with you. So I have shared videos with you all that my finishes were horrible, some of my first finishes. And I learned from that. I learned every time that I finish something, I learn something new and I get better at it. And so that is what I have always had, that vision for this channel. And so hopefully that has been my message to you. So it has been wonderful. And then I continue to do it because I just enjoy all the people that I've met along the way. All the messages you send me, the comments you send me, the Flosstubers I've met, people I've met at retreats, people I've met at stores. This has just been wonderful, wonderful. But I do want to just stress that some more, that this is something that we all can do. So, okay, let's move on to my whips. I do have a few whips to share with you. Two whips. And this is one that I worked on at Cross Stitch and Crafts on Saturday. And it is kind of, I'm getting closer to a finish on this one. This is Plum Street Samplers Soul Sisters. And I am getting closer and closer. Someone made a funny comment on this last week, and I'll tell you in a minute. Let me show you this, but it made me laugh because I have shared so many funny stories with y'all that it's funny when you remind me of those stories. So this is my progress. I worked some up here because I just got a little tired of filling in the second house. So I worked on this up here. I had to rip out her dress because I got the colors mixed up. When I was at the store this past Saturday, there was a lady there from Georgia. She drives up from Georgia twice a year, she and one of her close friends, and they spend a long weekend and they make their own little retreat in Johnson City and visit the store every day, and they sit there and they stitch, and it's so sweet. But this year she was there with her daughter. Her friend couldn't join her, but she's a surgical nurse, and so she's very detailed oriented, and this made me laugh. She wanted to look at it, so I gave it to her, and she was comparing it with the cover of the project or the design, and she said, "You got the colors mixed up." So I mixed up the dresses. I have this dark dress should be on this one, and this light dress should be on that one, and I have it reversed. I'm not going to rip it out, but I had to rip this one out because I messed up the star. So little bit of a mess up there. But last week when I showed this to you all, I said I have one head on, so she has one head and this one doesn't. And someone commented, "Don't forget the other head," because I have shared a story with you all about me forgetting things on a pattern or leaving things out, just forgetting to go back and stitch it. Everything from Santa Claus's boot to other things. So yes, I will remember to put her head on. We don't want to have a headless woman on this, but I love the colors in this. I am stitching this on 37 count Russian tea cake by Legacy Linen. I'm using one strand of floss over two. I'm using all of the called for colors, and they are right here, and they are beautiful. And I'm so excited to get this done. This will be professionally framed because it's going into a cross stitch store. This will be a model stitch for Kim Gavlik's store called Stitch Etc. So this is all I have left, and then this little section here. This has been so much fun to stitch. So this will be my priority this week, this and Floral Motif Sampler. I think what I'm going to start doing with my rotations, I'm going to work on one project for 2 or 3 days. Just see if I can get some progress done on some of these projects that have been filling up my whip basket, and hopefully get some progress done. But this has been a wonderful one. I hope to have it finished by the time I see y'all on Friday. So my other whip that I worked on this week is Floral Motif Sampler. So this is what I've been working on, and this is the project. This is by the Scarlet House. This is the pattern. This is Floral Motif Sampler, and I've been working on this for far too long. I need to get this finished, but it is a beautiful pattern. Let me show you my progress. So since I last saw you, I worked a little bit more on the border. What I thought I would do with this is every time I pull it out, stitch one strand of floss for the border and hopefully get it finished, because either that or just, you know, focus and get the border done. But I just, every time I've pulled it out this week, I would just pull out one strand of black and I would work on the trim or the border. So this is my progress. So I worked a little bit more on the border, and I did this whole motif right here. And this is a beautiful, beautiful motif. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. I think it's coming in. There it is. It is such a beautiful motif. It's huge. It's a big, big motif. And I have had to rip this section out more times than I'd like to share because I kept messing it up. But one thing that I found very interesting about this week, one thing I noticed when I was stitching it, this color for the flower is pomegranate. I'm going to pull it out. So this is pomegranate. Most of the colors, actually all the colors in this except for one, all of them are Gentle Arts floss colors. Very rich, beautiful colors. And they just look so nice together. But one thing I noticed is on some colors, when you're using, obviously when you're using one strand or two strands, it can change the depth or the hue of that color, or how dark it is or how light it is. It just, depending on how many strands you use, can change. And then of course within the variegation, it changes how it's going to look, because some of the strands are, ends of the strand are darker than the others because of that variegation. So I noticed with pomegranate, which is the color for this flower, that using the one strand really just changed the color of it. That is not the color I thought it was going to look like. It just, that variegation, it gives it just more of a rosy, deep pink color. But here, when you see the whole skein, it looks more red. But when you pull one strand of floss out and stitch it, it just changed the color of it. It was very surprising to me, and a happy surprise. It was beautiful. I just loved noticing that. Now, I did make some mistakes. I am off by a row. This, I think I started it up too high, and I was not about to rip out this whole thing again, because this was almost 2 nights of stitching. That's a lot of stitching in that one motif, but it was a beautiful motif. But let me show you all these colors. This right here, that's Buckeye Scarlet, a beautiful shade of red. Let me pull it out. But when you look at Buckeye Scarlet, the whole skein of it, it looks so bright and deep and lush. And then you pull out one strand and it's still very bright, vibrant and very dark, but it's beautiful. It just looks so different when you have one strand or two, but when you start to stitch with it, these colors just take on their own new life when you start stitching them. They do, they come alive. It's amazing to me to see the magic of the colors. So this is Floral Motif Sampler by the Scarlet House, and I absolutely love it. I am stitching this on 40 count mallow by Picture This Plus. I'm using all the called for colors. I'm stitching them one strand of floss over 2. And let me just come in a little bit and let me show you these. These are so much fun. Each one is like a little happy finish. Each of these, I can just see little smalls within here. If you want to stitch a little small for a friend, or a little scissor fob or a little needle book. But I have enjoyed this, and this will be, this and the Soul Sisters will be a focal stitch for the next week, and the Eliza French birds that I'm about to tell you about. But I've loved this. Someone emailed me about the linen. I got this kitted on that trip when I went to 2 years ago before I started my channel. I kitted this up at the Finishing Touch in Louisville, Kentucky. It has since closed, and it was one of my favorite cross stitch stores to visit, and I loved going there for a girls' weekend, and we would go to the cross stitch store and eat lunch and go back. Sometimes do that 2 days in a row. But I got this kitted there, and this is one that linen that I chose. Someone's emailed me and said they cannot find this linen. Well, it could be any number of things, from the dye lots changed. They don't have a color called mallow anymore. It could have been an old piece of linen when I purchased it. So that happens sometimes. Sometimes the dye lots change, they don't make a color anymore, or they're not exact. So even though you may, because everything's hand dyed, so if you are purchasing a color that is called mallow, and now it may be a completely different color, and that's what the problem she was running into, was that the color didn't look like this one. And that's okay. You don't have to have the exact color, because this pattern, this design will look fabulous on any linen, any color, any stitch count. It is such a beautiful, beautiful pattern. But just for reference, the model on the pattern is stitched on 40 count prairie grass from Seraphim fabric. She says that a suitable substitute is Lakeside Linens Vintage Pearled Barley, and that is a beautiful, beautiful color, the Vintage Pearled Barley. So just know that whatever you're stitching, because your pattern, your stitches will cover the modeling of the fabric, so you will be in good hands, good shape, whatever color you choose. And that's with so many of your linen choices. Don't focus so much on it not being the exact as what the pattern says to use, or it being the exact of what you see someone else using or a Flosstuber using, because once you start filling it in, it's going to take on a whole new beautiful, beautiful look. So I thoroughly have enjoyed stitching this, and I cannot wait to fill in. It's just the colors are beautiful and so rich, and I just love them all. There's a lot of colors, but it has been so much fun. There is a DMC conversion, which would be equally as beautiful, but these are all of the over dyed Gentle Arts colors. So many colors. So I hope to have a lot more progress to share with you next week. But what's funny is, now that I'm looking at this, makes me wonder if I used the wrong color. But this is pomegranate here. This is my pomegranate. Either the photograph was a lot lighter. Oh, I'm showing you the back of my piece. Don't judge. Okay, so here's my pomegranate. And here's the pomegranate on the photo. It's a lot lighter. So even within the floss, the colors are probably going to be changed. The dye lots will be different. Let me make sure that I use the right color on that, because now I'm curious. And this is a big booklet. Yeah, pomegranate, and it is completely different than the photo. Either the photo was a lot lighter, the dye lot changed from the time the model was stitched and when I purchased, but I love it, even though it's not the exact of what is on the cover of the design of the pattern. So don't get so hung up on things being the exact of what a pattern describes, because sometimes it's just not going to work out that way, and that's okay. It's still going to be beautiful. So that is Floral Motif Sampler by the Scarlet House. So those are all my whips this week. I worked on 2 whips, but I feel like I made pretty good progress on those 2. This next one that I want to share with you, I'm so excited about. Today is April the 1st, which we've talked about, but it starts our stitch along with the JBW pattern. So I have my pattern all kitted up in my Creative Country Girl project bag. This is one of my favorite project bags, by the way. This is a vintage tea towel or dish towel that Tammy with Creative Country Girl made into a project bag. Absolutely beautiful. This screams spring. It is just a beautiful, beautiful bag. So here we go. This is a stitch along that I am co-hosting with several Flosstubers have decided to join us, but Celeste Creates, Merritt Crawford with Just Because Buzz, I always get tongue-tied with that one. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch is joining us. Kim, the Contented Needleworker, is joining us. So many people have messaged me that they're joining in, but this is my start this week. I'm starting this today, actually, but here we go. This is Eliza's French Birds. This is one of Judy Whitman's with JBW Designs market releases. So this was a hit at market. The original, or excuse me, the model, seeing it stitched in person, absolutely beautiful. It is such a pretty design. Pinks and greens, I mean, of course it's gonna be beautiful. But we are stitching this. It starts today. A lot of people have messaged me that they're waiting on their supplies to come in. You all know me. With any stitch along that I do, there are no rules. You start when you want. You stitch when you want. There is no end date. No rules. Just make it fun. I just thought that this would be a wonderful springtime start for all of us to join in together. And the beauty of a stitch along is we can give each other just words of encouragement, that push we need to get it done, or to stitch a little bit more, or one more string of floss can go in today. But this is a beautiful pattern. I would love to see all of your progresses, or your progress on Instagram. So the hashtag we are using is hashtag JBW Eliza's French Bird Sal. I'll put it below, but that is the hashtag we are using. And then tag me and tag everyone else in it, that I'll put their names below. We would love to see your progress on this. So tag me at The Proper Stitcher, and then I can see your progress. So here is my kitted up project. I have my needle minder. This is one of my favorite Cameo needle minders. I thought that this would be so sweet to pull out. Then I have decided to go with 36 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. So my Cream and Sugar Fiber on a Whim. The wind is so strong here today. I don't know if y'all can hear that. We had these horrible storms last night. Just so many bad storms in the south over the last week. But last night we had some really bad storms, and the wind is really strong today. And then here are all of the floss colors. So I am using all of the called for floss colors, which is a blend of DMC, Classic Colorworks, and Weeks Dye Works. So here they all are. And I'll go over the colors in just a second, because a lot of people want to go ahead and start pulling their floss while they wait on their pattern to come in. But aren't those beautiful? So pretty. So pretty. Judy is a genius when it comes to color choices. So here are the colors. In Weeks Dye Works, we have Begonia. That is this hot pink color. We have Dried Sage in Weeks. This is the lime green. Classic Colorworks, Cobbled Peach, which is a light peachy pink. Classic Colorworks, Hollyberry, which is a vibrant kind of a fuchsia color. Classic Colorworks, English Ivy, which is a dark green. Classic Colorworks, Eve's Leaves, which is a tongue twister and a medium shade of green. And then we have Classic Colorworks, Cocoa Bean, which is like a light brown. And then two DMC colors, DMC 3712, like a salmon color, and then DMC 760, which is another light pink color. They look beautiful together, and I cannot wait to see this pattern come to life. One thing I recommend is, because this is the pattern is on this side, is to print it, like blow it up, make it a bigger print, zoom in and make it a bigger print, because it's a very tiny pattern. But here is the original. So this starts today. So if you would like to join us, start whenever you want. Go ahead and start gathering up your supplies. Call your local needlework store. I think Stitch Etc. has some still in stock. All of the needlework stores can place an order for you if your shop does not have it in stock. But it is going to be so much fun, and I hope you all can join us. So Eliza's French Birds Stitch Along. It's a JBW design. So, okay, let's see. Let's talk about our giveaways from last week. Oh wait, no, forgot. Okay, so this week I had some Happy Mail. One thing I would like to show you first, when I went to Johnson City last Saturday, my good friend Nita was there, and I just love her. She's so sweet. She is a regular up at the shop at Cross Stitch and Crafts. She and her sister were there. But Nita gave me this beautiful frog or tray. So what she did is, or she purchased this, I think, but what it is it's one of the frogs. These are called frogs, I think, where it's really more for floral decorations, but we use it for our scissors. And she glued it in a dish and put some blue purpley wool in there for decorations, but because otherwise there are holes in the bottom of this and it can chip or break the tips of your scissors. So she put some little felt in there, and that way when I put my scissors in there, they not only do we have this beautiful blue color, but it protects the tips of your scissors and it just looks so pretty. Look at that little bowl that they sit in. So that is a great gift for someone. I have a couple of these little, and I'm drawing a blank of what they're called. I have several of these, and if you just had a little dish to put them in and glue it in, it makes the cutest, sweetest little scissor holder, and it protects the tips of your scissors. So thank you so much, Nita. This is beautiful. So that's where I keep all of my scissors. Okay, and then I got a thank you card from Ginger. Actually not a thank you card, a congratulations on my 2-year Flosstube card, but look at the cover of that card. I love it. It says, the years sure do fly by, and they do. I can't believe it's been 2 years, but I love that. Such a beautiful card. Thank you, Ginger. And then Merritt Crawford, I told y'all last week about her new adventure. She has started, and her Flosstube is So Just Because, and I will link it below, but she has started reproducing little silhouettes, and here are two of them, her 2 releases. This is her company is going to be called Souvenir Stitches, but this is the first one. This one is called Horse and Buggy Silhouette. And this is the other one. So this one is called Bicycle Built for 2. Let me take these out. But she sent me 2 of her patterns and some floss. But here's this one. Isn't that sweet? And she also stitched it in blue. So she sent me some blue floss to stitch. She knows I love blue. So that is one that she reproduced. This is the original. Or is it? No. Yes, that's the original. And then she stitched it both in black and then in blue. And then here is the other one. This is Horse and Buggy. And I just love those little silhouettes. I think of those little vintage tea towels you see, and they've been framed. It's so sweet. This one is Horse and Buggy. And here it is stitched in blue. So Merritt, thank you for sharing that with me and for sending me the floss. I really love it. I do. And then I forgot to share this with y'all last week. This is from Lori Wilson with Thread Milk Designs. She sent me a Liberty Lodge, and I love that. I love that Liberty Lodge house. And then Bunny Bugalow. These are part of her For the Bowl series. She has Halloween and Christmas and spring and then summer. And then this one is called Endeavor to Improve. It's a keepsake box chart, but it's so pretty with those strawberries. I know a lot of people are stitching strawberries this summer. So thank you, Lori, for sharing those with me. You are too sweet. So that is all of my happy mail. I have been really good lately. I have not been adding a lot to my stash because we all know it keeps growing, and I already have a lot. Okay, so winners from last week's giveaways. We had quite the collection, and thank you all so much for commenting below. Thanking Marls for sharing her box of patterns with us. I had so much fun pulling from that box today. A lot of those patterns are going to be giveaways today. So thank you all so much for thanking her. And thank you, Marls, for sharing that with us, because it's just so nice to share. For those of you who didn't see last week, Marls is a viewer. She sent me a box full of duplicate patterns that she has, or patterns that she's not going to use. And it's just been wonderful that we have a big box now of patterns that we can share and spread the love. So, all right, so last week we had a blend of patterns from Fat Quarter Shop and from Marls's collection. So the first one was Chicken Club Florence. This was the number 2 of the number 12 series from the Fat Quarter Shop. This is Florence, and we have 2 of these. So the first one goes to Vicki Reidelberg. The second one goes to Gloria Urea, Urea. And just so y'all know, I ship anywhere. I ship all over the world. So if you are overseas, don't hesitate to comment or enter to win. I do not mind shipping things to you. The next one is Autumn Skies. This is an It's So Emma quilt pattern. This goes to Beth Kiefer, Kieffer. The second one goes to the letter M with the last name Thomas, M. Thomas. The third giveaway from last week was 2 opportunities to win the February stackables from It's So Emma Fat Quarter Shop. The first one goes to Mir, M-I-R, and the last name Pax, P-A-X, Mir Pax. The second one goes to Jean Tompkins. The next one is by Brenda Keys. This is the Sampler Company. This goes to D. Johnson. And number 5 is the Scarlet House Floral Motif Sampler. This goes to Susan Saunders. And the last giveaway from last week, oh, no, I have 2 more from last week. Lisa Barcombe, that's number 6. She gets the Plum Street Samplers, A Red Cottage. Lisa Barcombe, B-A-R-C-O-M-B. And the next one is Little House Needleworks, Home of the Needleworker, Renee Riley. So if I called your name, send me an email at theproperstitcher@gmail.com. Tell me what you've won. Give me your name if it's different than the name on your email or YouTube name, and your address so I can ship those out to you as soon as possible. So if you're new, if you're not familiar, how you enter to win a giveaway on my channel is be a subscriber, like the video, and answer a question below, followed by the number that you would like to be entered to win. Please only send me messages or enter to win in the comments below, not any other way, because I use a random comment picker and it only pulls from the link of this video. So comment below from items in this video that you would like to be entered to win. So, all right, so thank you all for answering that question last week. What was your favorite color? Which seemed like a silly color, seemed like a silly question, because it's like picking your favorite child, or anything else like that. But I loved reading all of it, and a lot of you have quite the array of colors that you like, and I loved reading all of your comments. So this week I would like to know, what is your favorite spring memory, or Easter memory, or spring memory, or whatever you want to tell me. What is your favorite springtime memory? So Matthew and I got married in the spring. We got married April 21st. So April's a busy month around here. Well, now we have my Flosstube anniversary. We usually have Easter. We have several birthdays. We have my birthday. My birthday is April 25th. Our wedding anniversary is April 21st. April's always a busy month around here, but our wedding day, our wedding day is one of my favorite, obviously, springtime memories, favorite memory of all time, but especially a springtime memory. It was a beautiful day, a lot like today, sunny, beautiful. The wind was crazy. That was, I remember that. But it was a beautiful day, beautiful East Tennessee is beautiful in the springtime. We have dogwoods are blooming, tulips are blooming, daffodils, everything, red buds. It's a beautiful place to be in the springtime. So our wedding day was beautiful and so many wonderful, sweet memories from that day, of course. So share with me. I'd love to know what are some of your favorite spring memories. Could be new, it could be old from when you're a child, whatever you'd like to share. So here are the giveaways for this week. We have 10. Some of these are from the Fat Quarter Shop, some are from my stash, and some are from the box that we received last week. So here we go. Number 1 is a Blackbird design book, Our Lasting Friendship. This is a beautiful pattern, absolutely beautiful. I have it in my stash, and so Marls, thank you for sharing it. It is now going to be passed on to one of our viewers. Number 1. Number 2 is 2 opportunities to win. This is from the Fat Quarter Shop. This is Home Again Vintage 2-color quilt. This is a great pattern. They have given you several color ways to choose from on the back. Just a great pattern. So this is 2 opportunities for number 2. Home Again Vintage 2-color quilt. I'll link it below. All the items from Fat Quarter Shop I'll link below so that you can go and look at them in more detail if you'd like. This next booklet, 2 opportunities. This is an amazing book. This is from Fat Quarter Shop. So 2 of you will have the opportunity to win this. This is number 3. In this Summer Memories book, you not only have a full several quilt patterns, but you also have cross stitch patterns. Beautiful summertime cross stitch designs in this booklet. And there are several quilt patterns in here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quilt patterns, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cross stitch patterns. A fabulous book. So 2 of you will have the opportunity to win this. This is number 3. Number 4, the Cottage Garden Promise of Spring, and it says hope on there. So that's number 4. Number 5 is Brenda Gervais Winter Rose Manor. I have this in my stash as well, so this is going on to one of you all. That is number 5. Number 6, Souvenirs of the Heart, also by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. This is number 6. Number 7 is a Stacy Nash Primitives pattern. This is Summer at Hollyberry Farm. Number 8 is a Lindy Stitches pattern. This is called Mary Mary Needleworker. And on there it says, Mary Mary Needleworker, how does your garden grow? And look how cute that is with the spool of thread. It's like a flower pot, her cute boots. So sweet. So that's number 8. Number 9, these 2 are from my stash. I used to belong to the Silk Floss Pack monthly club of Fat Quarter Shop. And this is called Fine Floss. And this is from March of 2022. So these are all shades of green. This is number 9. And these are silk MPIs. That's number 9. Number 10, same thing. This one is May of 2022. And these are more salmon pink colors. So this one's called Salmon Pink. That's number 10. Number 9 is the Leaf Green. So Leaf Green, number 9, Salmon Pink, number 10. Silk Floss MPIs. So those are all of our giveaways for this week. So that was shorter than I expected it to be, but I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. Get some stitching time in. Thank you again for an amazing 2-year journey. I cannot wait to continue to do this with you all. Send me comments, send me questions you may have. Answer the question below. What's your favorite spring memory, followed by the number that you would like to be entered to win. But anything else you'd like to know, just send me an email, properstitcher@gmail.com. Don't forget, on April 15th, I will be at Johnson City for a meet and greet at the Cross Stitch and Crafts. I'll list their address below if you're in driving distance. I would love to meet you. Other than that, I will see you all next Friday. So have a great week and thank you again.